Welcome to Ask Huna Flash, another little segment. It's kind of turned into a little thing. It's kind of fun, where everyone gets to ask me a question, and I'll try to do the best I can to answer. If I don't have a good answer, Robert, sometimes I just like say something crazy, you know?
Sure.
And it's like in the ballpark. No one is hoping. But let me just, if anyone has a question right now, think of a question, or just take a moment to think of a question and share it with us. I will invite Robert, and maybe Robert will talk about that, the 2 Ds, those 2 D words again.
Yeah. Dissipation of dissonance.
Dissipation of dissonance. And we were talking about the web around the planet, and Robert had an incredible understanding of that. And I just thought, well, that's something important to share as we're going through this dissonance, right, Robert?
Yeah.
So I would invite you to share a little bit about it, and then also just start plugging a little bit more of what you do.
Yeah, I'm the editor of UNICUSmagazine.com.
Yes.
And I host a radio show once a week, and but mostly the magazine is where I really do the public outreach. You know, it's a platform for higher learning, for people to share ideas and informations without any prejudice or malice.
Yes,
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's incredible. And your show is on KGRA.
Yes, it's streaming only. Streaming only. You can't hear it on the radio, but I use TalkStream Live. That's where you and I have been talking and doing shows now. I think we've done 3 or 4 together.
And your show's ranked number 4.
Yeah, it's
number 4. When you're not even doing anything, it's ranked number 4. That's how profound it is.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But that's not why I'm doing it. I know that there's something that we're supposed to be helping each other through this very difficult transition point. And I think it's going to continue for at least a couple more years. It's going to be very difficult. So that's one of the reasons I came back. I had to take a break for a while for personal reasons. But then I realized, oh no, there's a lot of people that are actually very confused about what's going on right now. And so you've been very kind to come on the show and explain some things, some very important things about the light calendar and other things on the show and on my website.
Well, thank you. You've been a gracious host, and someone who just mentioned an interpretation of just dissipation of dissidents.
That too. Yeah, in China, they're dissipating all the dissonance. They throw them in the freaking oven. That's
Denise Wood.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm glad we can laugh, but it's yes. Some days I swear I have a hard time getting out of bed. It's just the darkness is they're desperate. They're desperate. They keep ramping up. They're what they say, what's the phrase? They double down. They keep doubling down on the darkness and the evil. Because they don't know, they don't have a backup plan, Mauta. They don't know how to go to the light. So they're really stuck on this dark, evil stuff.
And, you know, despite it all, you feel this percentage of light is rising.
It is.
At the same time, you know, we are dissipating the dissonance at a huge rate as well.
Yeah.
Though, you know, these agendas, like you say, these dark agendas, these shadow agendas, these distortions, they're not just distortions, they're very much calculated and targeted, and even a minute, even a small part of the agenda can be, you know, very crippling in some ways.
Oh yeah.
You know, and as that's being felt, you know, Mother, or let me say Huna sources is reminding me that sometimes in the short term there's a bit of a sting.
Oh yes.
In the short term is a bit of a sting, and in the long run, there's positive outcomes.
Yeah, it's a healing. As you said before, purification. You and I, last time we spoke, you talked about purification coming on the planet.
Mm-hmm. So is there a question out there? Let's just check. Who's got question? There's a few questions here, Robert. And I don't know how many is here. This seems like maybe 30, 40 watching here right now. So thank you all for joining us here. Just recognize a few more names before I found a question, but let me say welcome to Gary, Gary Tuttle, and thank you for following along. Julie, who I just connected with, Julie Huna Camp, and thank you. And she has a question here.
Okay.
She's asking Huna, are there ways you could recommend to assist us in moving through this most challenging time more easily? How to move through this more easily? Are there specific tools and methods? You know, these are, this is what I've shared with Robert in the past about the light calendar, the Lemurian calendar, the operating system. And, you know, before we could really share that, we had to also understand what's the ramifications of the old patterns, the old operating system, the Gregorian system, the Roman system, these systems that once were needed but are no longer. They once were. And so as we've begun to recognize fine tuning and tuning deeply into, you know, what is the agenda of the dark agendas really got left in their ammunition? What do they really have left in their arsenal? Yeah. And what is the arsenal that has never been changed for thousands of years? What is the ammunition and the weaponry that they're using that hasn't been changed in a long time? And at the same time, it's being used by us. And of course, talk about, you know, countries selling weapons to each other. Okay, I get it, right? But this system I'm talking about is something that's so profound that it perpetuates these agendas. And even if the agenda is now come down to small parts, which it has, it's because some are moving off those, moving beyond that particular operating system, and making a transition and transforming and changing and shifting into what their words are for the next levels of where they are. And although there are still parts of that old patterns in there, so we're working on that. Now, one way that we're to work on it, Julie, is denouncing, right? You're gonna denounce the darkness, denounce the shadow. I throw you out, kind of the old words. I cast thee out, right? Boom. Are you done? Well, that was a long time ago, but are we done? 10,000 years ago said this, but are we done yet? Okay, so let's fine tune into what is this? What are these tools that the shadow and the dark and that are using? The operating system. We go right to their operating system, their operating system, and we understand it to be the stargates and the constellations, and how the frequencies and vibrations were flipped in those stargates, or even sort of somehow cut off. They've somehow cut off the access into the destiny side of a stargate. So you don't go into the destiny, perhaps you creep into it, get a little glimpse, and then you get kicked back out again, or you get told a message, or there's a light and the light says, oh, you got to go back and whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because working with that operating system means you still use those codes in the constellations. And this is a language. Languaging, very important here. That those, some would say we don't need to know or understand. I would like to share with you that you do not know what you do not know until you know. And so let's just dig down deep into this, because it's also fun doing this, you know, Robert.
Yeah.
We dig down and we find out what it is. So, okay, Julie, what is this tool you're asking me? That going a long way around this question, and sometimes it is a long way around this question, is that denouncing these codes that are directly related to you are in the birth signs, okay? in the birth signs, directly in the birth sign, directly injected into you at your first vaccination and the first time you arrive here. You get stung by a needle the first time you come in. Maybe even before that, your mother's getting stung by a needle before you come in.
Right.
You know that. You know that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Why? Well, you're coming on your birth sign. You're coming under the star, under a moon. You know that old song, "Born Under a Bad Moon." It's kind of a blues song, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the moon's fault. It ain't the moon's fault. There's codes and there's languaging and there's interference, and that's the agenda. They interfere with you directly at the Stargate. They interfere with you through the magnetic field. They interfere with you before you come into the form. And when you get into the form, they interfere with you there. That was the system. That system's no longer needed. And they know that we know that. That's why the Lemurian calendar is here. What is this? Some have said to me, yeah, but isn't it just semantics? Isn't it just language, Mauta? And many have said that to me. And my answer is all the time, how do you feel? Are you feeling okay? Are you good? Well, then fine. Let's go another 5,000 years. And hey, is it done yet? Right? Are we done yet? Huh? Do you need some more card readings? Huh? What are you having fun yet? So let's try something. Yeah, let's try something. If it is only semantics, Robert and Julie, then it won't matter if you change the codes. Yeah.
Right.
Do you think it will matter, or don't you think it will matter? Why don't you try it? Huh? Let's take a look at this. Then that's the challenge I put out: is that we denounce those codes and we speak in the infinite light codes of the blueprint of first light. And first light is not when, because there's light everywhere and just because the planet spins and you're in your horizon. First light goes to a moment when we first arrived in form. That moment through the light into form. Could it be now? Could it be once it was? Yeah, it can be that. But how do you feel? You feel okay? What do you need? What can we share with you from the baskets of knowledge, wisdom, and from love? Not necessarily the baskets of evil. So these operating system, we began switching it out over a year ago, but also millions of years, and every time it came back. Every time Lemuria came around, 4 times it came around. We're into the 5th moment now, right? Everybody calls this the 5th dimension, the 5th density. So in this 5th moment, Lemuria comes back again, in which it is physically into New Zealand and Hawaii and Polynesia, and it's starting to bring its head up and to reveal itself again in these codes and in this calendar. And so, I don't know, is there anything you're able to share with that, Robert? I know we've had a lot of talks about it.
Yeah, we have. Thank you for sharing that with me and my audience. And what came to mind was that Lemuria was also in the coast of California where I grew up. And that's where I found, or I was led to find, guided to the ancient Lemurian ruins up in the mountains there. Most of the city is destroyed and underwater. It's very ancient, but some of the bigger statues, the stone statues, are still available to people. And it's in Malibu, my hometown. I'm not there anymore, but I am in spirit. And so when you talk about 5th Lemuria, I mean, wow. I hadn't really thought of it that way, that this is the reawakening of that energy. You know, when you talk about codes too, for people who like science, you would have to look at this something called cymatics, cymatics, and it's all about the patterning of frequency and how that is basically light crystallizing into these patterns that we call physical or material reality. So when you say that the words are just semantics or this calendar is just a slight tweaking, it's not. It's moving away from, as we were saying before, about dispelling dissonance. We're moving out of dissonance and back into resonance, which is connected to all of creation. So this is a big deal. These are not just words. This is what you said. We're moving back into phase. with creation. We've been out of phase. Now
Yes.
we're coming back into phase. It's a huge thing.
Yes, I mean, what does this do personally to each other, each individual, the community, the collective, the global, the thought processes? You know, I used to share about the distorted light line, distortion within the distorted light line to make the transition into undistorted light line.
Huh.
There are 4 codes, and I will share them with everyone. And I used to share this with the other Huna, and there is a light line, the distorted light line we refer to, which is the one that's occupied by the Gregorian calendar, the light line that's using the operating system of those codes, those frequencies, and this is termed Niana. Niana. Niana means I am of the many. I am of the many. Niana. Ni-a means I. It's a system of I am. Now, from Niana to transition from Niana's distorted light, there are many distortions in Niana. Niana being the civilization, Niana being the distorted light line of the distorted civilizations over time had become distorted.
Right.
So as we speak of Niana, and how do we go from Niana, distorted light line, to an undistorted light line? Not how to, but how can we speak to it? We speak to this as Ni Marana. So we go from Niana's understandings of distorted light and distortions within the light line, and transitioning to Ni Marana, undistorted light line, thereby on the transition over to the undistorted light line, there's the dissipation of the dissonance happening between the two of them. And there are codes, and I will speak to 4 of these codes that I feel it is something that I have brought through. This is perhaps the story is probably understood in other ways to share it. But let me just speak to direct the codes in the Lemurian. So from Niana, which is the distorted light line and the distortions of civilization, the understanding is to go to transition to Nimarana is this way, these codes. And if you'd like to repeat them after me, you can all repeat them after me. You're quite welcome to. Okay. You can write them if you like. Make a note. Take notes. We're always sharing. So this is the first one. Repeat after me. Ho ni.
Ho ni.
Yes, that means to gift of life. The gift of life. Ho ni is gifting the breath of life. Ho ni. That is a code of all civilization. That is the code of all star nations, transparent beings and non-transparent beings, and form and formless. This ho ni. There is breath in the non-breath. Ho ni. That's code 1. Ho ni.
Ni. Okay.
Code number 2 is ta. Ta ni. Ta ni.
Ta ni.
Ta ni refers to the tears of the dragon.
Okay.
The tears of the dragon. Right. Okay, the tears for what? For sorrow or joy? You decide. You decide.
Okay.
What are your tears going to be for the next time you return here, or if you don't return here, or wherever you go from here? Okay, ta ni, tears of the dragon, and this exists in every civilization. For civilization to even exist, yeah.
Okay.
Is ta ni. The next, that's the second code. The third code is ha ni. Ha ni.
Ha ni.
Yeah, ha ni. And this code refers to the living of the life and the passing of the life, to celebrate the life that has been lived and celebrate the life that is living. Yeah, this is ha-ni, to enjoy the life. Okay, so the 4th code is ra-ni, ra-ni, and the ra means it converges all of these trinities. It converges the trinity into Ra-ni. And Ra-ni is refers to heaven on earth, Robert. Heaven on earth.
Wow.
These 4 codes. Ho-ni, ta-ni, ha-ni, ra-ni. And these 4 codes carry all the dissipation of dissonance through them, filtering them as you go on your way into ni marana, into undistorted light. By clearing and cleansing and purifying your soul, your life, what has interfered with you, and cleared that all the way through to ni marana, the undistorted light line. Okay.
Wow.
Can you see that, what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
hope you can see what I'm saying. I hope you understand. I hope it makes sense. Sometimes it don't make sense.
What? Tell me again.
A lot of people will tell you I don't make sense half the time.
Nimarana is the undistorted.
Yes, undistorted light line.
And what is the distorted line?
So civilization right now is in Niyana. Niyana is still present in this civilization. Niyana is the distorted light.
Okay.
It is not false light. It is true light distorted.
Right. That's what I was saying to you about electricity on the phone today.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the spider showed up. It's confirmation.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to love the Mesa, Mesa understandings when spiders show up in the weaving and they're showing up when you're speaking, right?
Well, it wasn't just showing up. It was like, it sort of like I was standing under, it was raining. It's raining here hard. And I'm under the awning, and there's a barbecue right here about like this high, very tall, right?
Don't say barbecue. It's food. I'm hungry.
What? Wait, okay, so anyway, it's about this high and it's got a cover on it. And here comes the spider over the top, right towards me. And I'm looking, I said, whoa, because it was pretty big and it was black, just like the cover. And I'm like, nice. Yeah, nice. But we were talking about the distortion of light.
Just quickly, they're big so they can get your attention.
Obviously.
If they're small,
yeah,
it's not so much of an issue. There's a small thing, might be personal, small thing.
Plus it was right here where I could see it, as opposed to just, crawling off in the distance. Wow. It was like right in my face. Anyway, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, thank you. And that's so Niyana is the civilization of distorted light.
Yes.
And there's distortion within that light line of all realms, all realities within that light line. Yeah, you can reach all kinds of heights in it. It is distorted light. Your challenge now is to understand ho ni, ta ni, ha ni, rah ni, and those four codes carry a wealth of knowledge behind them. Certainly many lifetimes behind each one of them for all star nations and all planetary nations. As you move through these four filters, you're moving over to the Nimarana, the undistorted light line, which, by the way, is understood as origin to destination, or destination to origin, to origin. You got to get your head around this. It's multi-dimensional, so get your head around it. How can it be a destination and origin at the same time when one is distorted and the other one is undistorted?
I don't know.
You have to go back to the blueprint when it was before distortion, before confusion.
Okay.
And then you get to rewrite. Then you get to rewrite over the top of the once was distorted, and you rewrite over the top. It's going from one end of the stick as it's come through, it's getting distorted after a while. Okay, we've had enough of this. Let's jump, and we've jumped back. Boom, back to the beginning, back to Lemuria.
Wow.
Or a moment of Lemuria.
Right. Could
be now, could be then, could be when. That's first light, back to first light, undistorted codes.
Wow.
The before confusion.
Right.
And then you come through and you're rewriting now the new memories. And I know there are people watching who are writing new memories right now. Let me invite another question. And there was a question that was put to me by Akash Rowanoth, and I will share. He is Huna Wahakaga, and let me just share his question. His question earlier was about the Elohim.
God.
The Elohim sent him a message, and I need to grab it off here because it was really quite interesting. Sometimes the Elohim, I just kind of laugh at them. Really sorry, I do. They go back and forth. But the Elohim, and he's sharing this message with me, the Elohim have made adjustments, and they are they are ready to give over the seat in the second dimension for the upgrades. Well, they're ready to share the seat or give the seat and hand over the operating system. It's not to use the same operating system, but as Wahakaga understands it, and we understand it, is an upgrade of the system.
Okay.
And Elohim are handing over the operating system. That happened at a message. We're ahead of schedule all the time, so it could have happened weeks ago, months ago, but certainly it is here now.
Wow.
And a messenger, well, that was a message from Wahakaga, not a question, sorry.
Okay.
As to pertaining to what we are talking about with this operating system, how important it is, you know?
Right.
So I just kind of jumped in there, but there's a question. Here's a question from Huna Manima Nico. He asks, you lived in China, as we can't trust the mainstream or the lamestream media for any accurate reporting. Can you share your insights, your take on what's really going on in Wuhan?
Yeah, I didn't get to go to the mainland. I wasn't permitted. I tried, but
there's
they
your
found
answer.
out. Well, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they found out that I was a journalist. They asked me, "What do you do?" And I said, "I have a website." And I looked at it, and they just said, "No, you're not coming in here." But I did spend 4 years in Hong Kong, and I met a lot of people from mainland. Actually, I still am in touch with people that are in Hong Kong who have family there, and it's a very bad situation. You know, most Chinese people are very good, but family, loving. Most of them are very spiritual people, but the Communist Party is totally corrupt. It's organized crime, and they're involved with. I mean, the reason that they were selected, that particular group, is because they were the most powerful criminals in all of China. They won the lottery when it came to working with the evil cabal.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing some really nasty stuff there, and the 5G is part of it. Clearly, and whatever they were spraying there was not disinfectant. It killed a lot of people and pets. It had to be toxic if the pets are just dying in the street. I mean, come on. It's like the whole thing is very sick.
Robert, you wrote 2 books, Close Encounters on Capitol Hill,
yeah,
and Covert Encounters in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
In this COVID-19 and all of this stuff, is there alien technology involved in the making of these things?
Yeah. Well, to be specific, as I was telling you off the air here, that one of the messages I got about a week ago was that we need to ask for help from the angelic kingdom, from the benevolent ones, to deal with the fallen ones, because they, on some level, they have an advantage over us still. Even though some of the leadership has left here, those who are left behind still have a lot of technology and techniques that they use for controlling us. They've been controlling us many different ways for thousands of years here, physically and spiritually, mentally, all that. So yes, this particular biological weapon was developed in the United States, was sold to the Chinese. They were working with others in Australia and Canada. And I mean, these laboratories of death are all over the planet. And I know that's directly related to the fallen angels. I know that now. So the message, as I said, for me was, and this is not to sound dramatic, but they're dangerous. They're deadly dangerous. These fallen angels do not care for us whatsoever. And they know that they're losing control. So honestly, the way it was presented to me was, if we ask for assistance, it removes some of the restrictions that are on the benevolent ones when it comes to assisting us, because we have free will. So if we exercise our free will and say, please help us deal with your fallen brethren, they're causing a huge obstacles for us to move forward. then that opens the door for them to do these things, which is actually quite easy for them and very difficult, if not impossible, for the average person here under the current circumstances.
Right, right. And, as I was speaking of earlier, about the operating systems and about codes and about, and I spoke to you this before about the lower universe, which is like a heavy lift. It's part of Niana that's very heavy.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most important parts. And when I talk about the perpetuation of codes, speaking into the once was and continuing with them, let me just say, I'm getting ready to do a very powerful protocol ceremony in Russia at an Archangel City. I'm going there to continue my activations of the Motu grid, the B or the birth sign grids, the Motu birth signs, the Lemurian birth sign grid. B, birth being with B, earth, birth sign.
Oh, perfect.
Sign,
okay. I got to write that down too. Wow.
Birth, B hyphen earth. Birth, B earth signs, okay?
That is so perfect.
So that's the Motu grid. Now, I'm going there to activate the door of Archangel Michael. What do you mean, Archangel Michael? What do you mean activate this door? Isn't he already here? Isn't he already accessible? Yeah, you're still in Niana. We're still working through to Nimara now. And then the distortions, and there are distortions in the light line, including the angels, especially concerning the ones, the dissonance that's in the distortion of those perpetuating the codes from the access portals of these beings. And now I know some might not like what I'm saying. Some, I think, have disconnected from me for being this blunt. But let me just say, I'm going to activate the door of Archangel Michael so that the highest light angel can come through, activating into the birth sign.
Oh my God.
And I have been doing this. This is what I say I? Yeah, I say I.
I know.
I've been laying this out word for word for how long now? 3 decades.
Wow.
Just recently in the last 10 years. Certainly in the last 5 years with the Huna. So those who may be saying to me, oh, you just lost me. Hey, how can I lose you? Really?
Yeah.
That's distorted of you if you're going to walk away from this conversation, because it's worth having now, especially this time of the shift.
Well, honestly, Mauta, there is a level of fear. And I was warned as I came through, when I was asked to deliver this message from the angelic kingdom to humanity. It seems very simple to me, but I was also warned that it's actually very dangerous, that I should treat every time that I come on this, any platform, that I should consider it to be my last opportunity to get to put out this message. So
thank you for being here, Robert.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you. Hey, it's actually a privilege. It's an honor to be of service, but this is a war. It's a conflict that's been going on, a struggle, on some level here anyway, in this realm. The dark side, as you know, is desperate, and because they're losing control. And actually, just to finish up what I was saying before, is that the way it was presented to me is that their goal is, they know they can't retain control in this dimension, on this world any longer, but they want to bring, part of the reason that they introduced the biological weapon that we call COVID-19, Wuhan virus, whatever, and the 5G and all that other crap, is to bring us to such a high level of dissonance so that when we cross over physically, when we leave our bodies, it would be that much easier for them to pull us into that lower astral, or whatever you called the Niana.
And the Niana.
Right?
And
to keep us in that
light, keep
us in the distorted light, or whatever you want to call that particular. Yes, that's their empire, that's their realm. Yes,
exactly. And so as I activate the Motu grid, I'm connecting the infinite light line into the destiny omniverses through those same gates.
Okay.
But I'm switching the frequency and the vibration into infinite light time. As I'm bringing these codes and speaking them directly to you through the light calendar or the Lemurian calendar, And I invite everyone to denounce what once was, to move into the what is and what will be. Then Niana will dissolve and will dissipate even quicker, even sooner. And then the activation of these mortar grids with, concerning many, but also very importantly, Michael, and he has asked for this. By the way,
I got to share with you something that was given to me here. It seems relatively simple, but
I say he, but I mean the energy.
Oh yes, I know.
Frequency and
I totally
magnetic of the
understand.
being has asked for this.
Listen, they didn't just give me the request that I just explained about. The angels want to assist us, but there's a restriction because of free will, right? They then backed that up by showing me all kinds of confirmations step by step. So I know that I understand now my relationship with the angels is very intimate. And that they do care, but they also are concerned. So anyway, part of the message is this: I got to tell you, we must choose. All the souls now must choose within the next couple of years. As you said, we're making this transition from distortion to clarity, from ni ana to ni marana. Okay, so the part of that process is for us to choose because we have free will. So it's like this: do we choose utopia or dystopia, liberty or tyranny, resonance or dissonance, the web of light or the web of lies? This is just to make a little more clarification for people.
Yeah.
Because that's what I get this from them, these higher beings. I'm asking them, please give me the proper words to share with my family here so that we can be very clear about what it is we're doing. Words are important. Words are extremely important for helping us to be work together towards a common goal for the common good. That's all. That's really sorry. That's all I had to say about it.
Everybody can understand you.
Yes. Well,
I just have trouble understanding me. So
I see.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons that I get this information is the agreement is that as long as I'm willing to share it without any distortion on my part or ego, then they keep giving me the information to put out. I'm just, the word angel just means messenger. And so therefore, as weird as it sounds, I am an earth angel.
Yes.
And I'm here to help as much as I can, while I still have time.
We do the best we can, Robert.
Yeah.
See, we're not understood all the time.
I know.
There's a distortion fields. Even with our own self in this human form, we do the best we can, and still we do the best we can to become Uma, a universal human. Uma.
That is beautiful.
And it's beyond Ma, but it's here. It is Uma, the universal human on the ground.
Yeah, connecting to the cosmic web of light. I know that's what you're doing, and that's what you're helping others to do. I'm here doing that as well. But when you said birth, be earth, that blew my mind, because that makes so much sense. There's another meaning for birth. It means docking.
Docking.
It's docking where the vessel docks. So you could say that's where our soul. What did you say this before? Where the soul docks to the physical planet, right? Birth.
Yes, absolutely. Back when I spoke about the Huna scope as a docking station.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then that was just before I met Huna Manima, and I'd like him to come and say hello. Can you say hello right live on Facebook, brother? We work so close together. I am the whale and the dolphin. So, and this is the way of the Huna. So, as I met brother, we were talking about the docking station. Exactly.
Yeah.
Docking everybody in. See these star maps behind me. They're rings and they fly real fast and everything, like a tourist field. But we can dock to them.
Yes.
Into the highest form, and we just got to connect. In other words, but you're right. I mean, thank you. Birthing. Yes, birth right up there. Birth right up in there.
Wow.
Let me just see if I can grab another question here. I know we have. I'll maybe take it another 10 minutes longer because I was messing with the technology here, or it was messing with me.
Yeah.
We overcame that, didn't we, Robert?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, there's a question for the children on behalf of Mary Costello. She asked the question. My interest is children wanting to hear guidance with this. I would appreciate insight into the children now. Okay. You know, the children, this is what you're going to do, you know? What do you say? The children that are here now, children that are coming through the magnetic field. We try the best we can to instill the highest light in them when they're here. They're even bringing their highest light in with them. That's the most possible for them to do. Rainbow, star child, crystal child, indigo child, you name it. They still come through the magnetic field. And even then, some children are not staying very long, and then also at the same time, a walk-in is happening. So let's just, okay, the children here now, yes. We got schools, okay, all kinds of schools, yellow, green, blue, red. We teach them about nature. We take them to the nature. We show them how to purify the land, water, sky at a very young age. We share with them modalities and tools. You know, excuse me, most children like, you know, going to summer camps and camping in the, you know, swimming in the rivers. Okay, spring is here and the summer is coming in. What are you going to do? There are protocols and modalities of the softest kind that we can share with the young children as they're going to their summer camps. And this is not woo-woo stuff I'm talking about. That's not woo-woo. There's a very valid protocols you can share them that the children will love.
Yeah.
By helping to purify the vibrations on the land, water, sky. For instance, clearing the vibrations of distortions by gathering as a small group and learning a protocol around a tree and working around the tree and including the tree into that moment.
Wow.
And taking the water with them and gifting the water to the environment around the tree, and then all rushing towards the tree to hug the tree and then give the tree a gift. And may that gift be obsidian. May the gift be a small stone of obsidian that the children give to the tree. Allow them to bury the obsidian at the base of the tree, to return and offer gifts and energies and vibrations, frequencies to the land, water, sky through the tree.
Wow.
Okay. This is a Waikato protocol known as the Waikato, which is a clearing protocol and a Lemurian modality. It's being used by the Huna now in many ways.
Yeah.
Because it can be used in many ways. But for the children, this is a wonderful. There's a few words to teach them. There's a dance. There's a song. There's a shiny stone to give, and then there's a tree everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Come on. So I would offer this and share that. You know that some children are coming in right now that are so masterful in their skill. I just saw a video earlier today of I think he was 4 years old. He's playing bass like he was in a blues band or something, like drinking whiskey and playing like it was like nothing. He's playing, he's looking around like this, and he's like, yeah, well, this is good. I don't know if you know who Jaco Pastorius was. He's one of the most famous bass players in the world. This 3-4 year old is, or maybe he's 5. He's kicking off notes. Check out Jaco Pastorius. Check him out. I'll try to set up a link with him later. But that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
These children are here. The masters have come in. The skilled ones that come here. But also, let me just share that modality about the land, water, sky, and purification as we maintain to continue the vibration at its highest as possible. Be of clear mind and clarity yourself, yeah? And offer the clear mind and clarity to the child as well. You know, not just, you know, feeding them pizza and stuff, and, just birthday parties and ice cream whenever, but take them to the summer camps, share that modality with them, and it will be instilled with them all their life as a modality that they can use and work with as they get older and improvise it on a much larger scale. Very simple. And,
I got to share something with you because I keep looking at the logo on your hat. They call you Flash. Why do they call you Flash?
Well, one of the brothers, one of the Hunas, Huna Pa, he had been seeing my energy moving so quickly through all this work
okay.
I'm doing. So he just decided to call me Flash.
Yeah.
And he said, Huna Flash. Okay. That was like fun. It's fun, right? Okay, because actually Mauta, Kumara, Taki itself means an energy that lifts. It's a fast-moving action. Taki. It's almost an energy that takes clear care of a problem. Taki is an issue that needs to be solved.
Yeah.
And then it's done. Taki is solves that issue, and it's like lightning. So Taki means lightning.
Well, lightning. Okay.
Somebody once was just calling me. One of the Hunas was once calling me just Mauta Taki, and I understood that. Okay, that's all right. And then like I don't know, months later, Huna Pa just goes, "Hey, Huna Flash." And then today, someone called me Huna Flashy Pants. And if he's watching, if you're watching, then I can see you too. but anyway, it's getting kind of fun up in here, you know. Huna Flashy Pants.
So listen, I wanted to share something with you. I actually love lightning. I think it's kind of strange. I don't know if you've ever met anybody before that actually loves lightning. It's very exciting to me.
I love it. I do.
I've been up close. I've been up close at least twice that I can remember where it was so close I could smell it. You know, the way it lit up the air, and I could see it just kind of like doing this. But the reason I'm mentioning this is something important. People are very concerned about their immune system right now. And I want you to understand, everybody, that we are electrochemical beings. I'm not saying this is not a theory. We know we're electrochemical. If we are not conductive, your immune system is going to be weak.
Yeah.
Our immune system is a direct reflection of how conductive we are. So they say that we talk about electrolytes, you know, certain minerals. A lot of people are taking zinc. Well, guess what? Zinc is found in batteries.
Oh, of course.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, and the other thing is the DNA, our DNA, that spiral helix.
Yes, double helix.
When we are feeling distorted energy, when emotionally, I should say, it constricts, it tightens up, and is not so it's not as conductive. But when we relax and we're peaceful and we're loving and happy, it opens up like this, and more energy conducts through. So these are things that we have to be responsible for our own health in that regard of our so-called immune system or our conductivity. It's not difficult, and anybody can do it. So just keep that in mind as we go forward.
Yes. It's also an understanding that light protects the water.
Light protects water?
Yeah. Light protects the water.
Okay, you got to explain that because I don't understand.
Like, say, electrolyte, like light.
Oh, light.
Light protects the water. In other words, light protects the child.
Well, actually, there was a doctor that showed me this. He said he had a little device, right? He had a light bulb over here and was connected to a wire, and he put it in a glass of water, and he says, "You see, the light bulb is barely glowing." I said, "Yeah, what's the point?" And he goes, and then he sprinkles some electrolyte, which is salt, even salt. Yeah. You put that in the water, and then suddenly the light starts to really glow. And I'm like, wow. And he goes, "That's you. That's you. That's why you want to be like, you want to be the dim bulb, or you want to be the light bulb?" You know, it's like,
exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Everybody go home and try that. Or if you're at home, you should be at home, right? Hello. Give that a go. Give that a go. We'd love to hear from it. Yeah, thanks, Robert.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, the light that protects the water, the water being the child in instances before the child enters into the womb, coming through the cosmic water. And then when the child is here on the ground, it's still water. We're water. Okay, so the water can also protect the light. And so as the water of the young children, and I hope you will give this a try with your children, or, you know, if it's not too woo-woo for you, but check in with us. You know, you can check in with me and on the website, or just send me an email, and we'll start sharing. We have protocols coming up for that exact thing. Lights protecting the water. Now, Robert, I think we have just time for one more question.
Okay.
Let's just see here. I'm scrolling through. was a whole bunch of other people that came on. Just want to recognize Kathleen. Thank you, Kathleen. And also my old friend, Christopher Strand. When we were in Maui, I was doing a lot of work in Maui, and he was there in Maui some years ago. I did a lot of purification work in Maui, activation of the Huna Mauta, the Turtle Island, and the Angel's Door. Okay, so don't really see. There's a lot of comments. There's a lot of comments being said here, like in there. I don't really see too many questions. So
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please. Happy to.
So why Russia? What is this going on there? That is it because they are still Orthodox and they have a connection, a strong connection with the angels? Just curious. I don't know.
Russia is a particular birth sign. It's a location of a particular birth sign. It's a location of a particular continental being, which makes up the understanding of these B earth signs in the form.
I see.
And the connection to the formless. Russia's representation is the dove. The dove is the birth sign of that entire region, Eastern Europe and Russia. And so the angel's door is on the dove. And the dove is the birth sign, which is Namu Mauta. And this, what I speak of, the door of the angel's door for Archangel Michael, when the dove is engaged and activated into the consciousness and the realization and shared with everyone, when the denunciation comes to denounce the old codes, finally denounce them, just outright denounce them. I know there's a lot of people still doing the card readings from those constellations, the Greek language, and I'm not dissing the Greeks, but it comes from the Archons and the Anunnaki utilized the language of the Greeks and the codes of the Jesuit order, which is the highest order of the Kabbalah, and use those codes and those stargates with those languages. When Sagittarius and Aquarius and all of these languages are denounced, try it. I won't dare you to. I'll invite you to try it. Okay, try denouncing them and speaking them into the motus that are available, the B earth signs. And Namu Motu, which is the dove, is the birth sign, which is the particular stargate, which is the fire water star, which is the stargate of the sun. The dove is the birth sign of the star, the water star, the fire water star, the sun. Through the dove will bring your dissipation of dissonance and distortion into dissolve through the power of the dove, through the burn off through the star door of fire. But that is one of the doors connected to each one of the birth signs. Archangel's door is one of the other doors, or the angel's door. And Michael, who is well known by everybody.
Yeah, right.
But that's only Michael. There's energy, vibration, frequency, magnetics is of a certain level, of course. And so I speak to that purity rather than Michael. And then, you want to understand Michael, fine. I'm going to Russia in June, the end of May, willing everything is opening. And I'm saying that everything will open by May 12th. I've said that live on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. It will be open by May 12th. I'll be going to Russia for sure on May 28th to the Angel's Door. Now, the ceremony and these protocols that I do for these doors and these mortugates are very powerful. It's a cracking open of everything. Cracks it open, and all your own distortions are felt, and you'll blame me for it, no doubt. Or you'll blame me thinking it's my distortions. Oh yeah, it's powerful. There's light in that. Source energy will crack open, and source energy doesn't necessarily always feel good. Source energy is source energy. It's for you to be able to expand and capacitate to and integrate. it won't feel nice. It'll be pretty rough, actually. And that might happen during and just after or before the ceremony, certainly for days after, maybe months after, and you'll be hating me for the year after that. But I will tell you, this is how it works.
Well, thank you for doing
being
that.
disliked. I'm not scared of being disliked. I never came here to be liked, Robert. I'm already loved. So are we all. Yeah, okay, do the best we can.
Wow.
But it's been fun, man.
Thank you.
Fun having
Thank
you here,
you.
brother.
It's always a pleasure.
I would, invite everybody to check out unicusmagazine.com.
Thank you.
Unicus is UNICUS
Correct.
magazine.com. And check out Robert's and get a hold of his books. There's some great reading there. And he's got shows going on there. You'll see a lot of great information and videos.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a ton of free information. I have a whole archive about angels. And this show's going in there for sure, because what you're saying, what you're doing is exactly what I was told needs to happen.
Seem to be on the same path, Robert. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I think you're a Huna. The only thing missing is your ceremony of the seal of the child, and we'll get to that soon.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best to stick around for that.
I just popped that in there, and there it is. Okay.
Thank you.
Robert, thank you so much. To everyone on Facebook, check him out, Robert Stanley. So grateful, brother, to have you here, and so happy you've got a safe place to be where you are. I won't announce where you are, just so that you can stay where you are in safety.
Thank
and I'll be back again with another Ask Huna Flash in a couple of weeks with one of the Hunas. Her name is Huna Kapomana, Crystal Bunton, and she worked for the FEMA. Is a nurse for 20 years now since graduating. She worked with FEMA for Puerto Rico, and she also worked with the CDC, contracted to the CDC, and that's just recently. So we're going to probably get some fun.
Wow.
Have some more fun, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you,
brother.
Mauta.
Thank you, everybody, for being patient, and I apologize if you couldn't hear us or any difficulties, but I'm sure the playback will be. Let's hope that the playback's okay.
Yeah.
All right. And perhaps you can see this again playback on Facebook, but we may be able to bring it over to Robert's site as well.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Waho is a word I sign off with these two occasionally is waho wahi. Waho means the enter. Wahi means the return. Ki muria means, oh, you're back. Good to see you again.
Good to see you as always.
That's the original Lemuria.
Wow.
It's the first embrace.
It's beautiful.
It's not a name, it's a feeling.
Yes, thank you. So beautiful. Thank you, my brother.
Ki muria.